Hi there, today we're going to use the new Mini Delight Cafe Au Lait Dahlia to customize our own scrapbook layout. So come join me. Hi there and welcome to a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Natalie. Today we're going to use the new Mini Delights Cafe Au Lait Dahlia to create a new scrapbook layout. And what we're going to customize it. The inspiration today is actually going to come from the example that comes in the presentation card. So I've already gonna work today with a pocket page. It's one of my favorite ways to document in a 6x8 album. So you're gonna see I have my picture set up and we're gonna customize it by building it from scratch. So I've got some white cardstock, I have my stamp wheel, and we're gonna create embellishments, backgrounds, and also a fun flip for my layout. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by actually bringing my stage. I'm gonna put some cardstock on my stage, on my base, and then I'm just setting up my stamp on the flip cover so that I can stamp all my dahlias in a row. So I am using the Trailblazing inks from the latest release, and you're gonna see that I want to get some blues and a little bit of that dusty rose. I'm gonna use eucalyptus. I'm gonna use all the colors from these sets to actually create my flowers and my leaves. And it's super simple. You're gonna see that I'm actually gonna stamp the flowers and the leaves all at once, and I'm gonna rotate. I'm gonna use my stamp wheel to create, think of it as kind of a wreath, but it's going to be easy for me to cut. So you're going to see that I'm starting, I'm just stamping. I ink my, you're going to see I'm going to flip my lid. I am going to add ink onto my stamp. I am going to stamp it, then I'm going to flip it again, add more ink, and rotate it around 90 degrees to create the wreath action, and I'm going to fill my entire cardstock. Now my cardstock here is 7.5 inches square, so I'm able to just create all the images at once, so make it super easy for me to create all the images that I need for that. Now that I have them all stamped, I'm gonna go ahead, take my die and take it to my die cutting machine and have them all cut. So you're gonna see that I've created some pink and that, like, not pink, it's like a dusty rose, and I'm also gonna add a little bit of blue for this. I want something very colorful. My pictures are already black and white. So like I said, I'm going to take it to my die cutting machine, and then I'm going to have everything ready. And right now it's all about just setting up the idea. So you're going to see I'm going to bring my pictures. I have a 3x4, I have a 2.5x2.5, and I have a 4x6. So my idea is, you're gonna see I have nothing. I'm gonna start with just plain white cardstock. I took the image behind the pamphlet or the presentation card to get the inspiration, and it shows clusters of the dahlias with splatters of black ink. So all I'm doing right now is just kind of setting up the flowers in each of the pockets, and then once I have them, like, you know, they look cohesive to me in, like, you know, in the look of the page, in the design, I'm gonna go ahead and start building the cards that are gonna sit in each one of these pockets. So you're gonna see right now I have a little cluster on the right of the top corner, just a single one at the bottom, and then this large cluster on the left. So I like how this is all set up. Now it's time to start building, like, you know, each one of the cards. And here's where the customization comes in place. Now here's a 3x4 card. I'm gonna add those two flowers. I went with something really dark in the blues and something more on the pinkish side, and then I'm just gonna set this cluster at the edge, or the bottom right edge of my 3x4. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it in place. Remember, like I said, the inspiration comes from the back of the packaging of the card. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of foam adhesive to create a little bit of dimension between the flowers. And once I have them in place, I'm actually wanna use the same stamp set. I'm gonna use the Cafe Au Lait, the Mini Delights Cafe Au Lait Dahlia, to actually add my title. So you're gonna see that I've already, you know, I'm getting everything ready. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna stamp my title using the stamp set, and then, but I'm also bringing some metallic antique gold ink and also the pure black, the jet black, to add those splatters that you see on the card. So I'm starting by stamping my title, and I'm gonna actually copy the one that's in the card because it says "You Brighten My Life." So I'm stamped with Obsidian ink, and then I'm gonna add a few splatters of jet black ink, and that I'm gonna make sure that the black ink does not hit the flowers. If you see the example on the back of the card, it actually, the black splatters are on the flowers. I don't want anything on the flowers. I want pops of gold in the flower. So once I add the black spray just to the card, I add the gold splatters onto the flowers, and all I have to do right now is use my pair of scissors or my guillotine to just cut the excess and make sure that my card is sitting at 3x4, and that's going to be the first pocket. I have customized what I call my paws, or my think of it as supportive card. Now at the bottom of these two cards I have a 4x6, so I'm bringing a 4x6 white cardstock, and I'm going to use the same stamp set. This is the Mini Delights Cafe Au Lait Dahlia, and I'm going to use water hyacinth to create a background for my layout. I'm just going to use the flower. You're going to see that I'm going to stamp my flower kind of coming off the edges of the card. Sorry, I make sure that I start with a triangle shape and then just fill in the spots. I know where my picture is gonna sit, so I'm okay if the image is not completely in the center and there's only pieces of it showing. That's fine. Once I have that, I added a few splatters of jet black ink, and then I'm gonna attach my picture towards the right of the card, and then I'm gonna use one of the flowers. I went with something in the lightest kind of pink, is the sandals one, just to add that floral pop there. You're gonna see that I'm gonna add a little bit of the gold antique gold ink spray just on top of the flower, but I need to bring that deeper blue that it's in the pocket at the top. So my choice was to actually go and get the bold sentiments stamp set, and I'm gonna use one of the sentiments, and I'm gonna use the indigo ink from the Trailblazing inks, to stamp the sentiment that says "You are amazing," and then I'm just gonna fussy cut the sentiment, and I'm gonna attach it. Think of it to the top of the flower so that it pans onto the picture. So I'm customizing my subtitle of the card. I've customized the background using the stamp set. I've added my embellishment using the stamp set, and I'm just adding a sentiment just to the card. I am gonna bring just a few stickers just to help me with the embellishment, but that is all it's gonna take. So that already kind of creates the first half of my pocket spread. Now for the other side, I have to create a 4x6 card, and I have a lot to say about this because my kids are really cute in this layout. So I actually choose to hide my lines or journal. So I'm gonna create kind of a flap for this. So I am using, this is the Storybook frame 3D embossing folder, and I'm gonna take it off camera and just emboss a piece of cardstock that is 6 inches wide, and I think it was around 8 inches in height. So once I embossed it, I'm actually gonna bring a little bit of water hyacinth ink, and I'm just gonna rub it on top of the frame that I just embossed. I just want to add a little bit of pop-up color to just kind of make it like pop from the background. Once I have that, remember how I already had the flowers ready to set up? So I'm just gonna move it on top onto the cardstock so that it sits in the bottom left corner of that embossed frame, and that just sits right nicely between the picture and the top of the page. Now to add my title, I'm using the Greatest Blessing stamp set, and I'm actually going to stamp the word blessings, and then I'm going to die cut it 3 times because I want to stack it. I want to give that idea that it's chipboard. So once I have it in place, before I set it in place, I'm actually going to add the splatters. Once again, I'm going to add a few black splatters just to the cardstock, and then I'm going to add the gold splatters onto the flowers and a little bit of the cardstock. Once I have that, I'm going to attach the word blessings using a little bit of foam adhesive, and then I'm going to stamp the word my using the stamp set, the Cafe Au Lait Dahlia. There's a few sentiments, and I'm just going to use the MY from one of the sentiments to add my blessings. Now here's where the fun part comes in. I actually have a journal card already in mind. All I'm doing right now is just making sure that I know the measurements completely. So I want to make sure that my journaling card is inside of the pocket, and then I need to create the flap using that embossed cardstock that I created. So I'm gonna mark my card using the scoring board at a 4 1/4 from the bottom of the frame. Once I have that, I'm just gonna fold it to create that flap, and then I'm gonna cut the excess. I'm just gonna leave an inch after the fold. That's going to create a little flap. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my journaling card, add a little bit of double-sided tape to the back of the card, and then attach the flap. When I put it into my little pocket, I'm going to make sure that I only slide the journaling card so that the card that I created becomes a flap. What you don't see in the camera is that I actually add a sentiment to the inside of the embossed frame, just so you can kind of continue that look. Once I have that, all I have to do is just set it up back into my album and it's ready to go. And I really love how this turned out. It was super fun to put together. Like I said, we're customizing this from scratch. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Remember to check the blog for more details, and thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more beautiful content. See you soon, guys. Take care.
Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.